Good morning. I'm here again at my gym in the yoga room and sharing the daily readings from here, from the Golden Present, daily inspirational readings by Swami Satchidananda. And yeah, I'm here again, and it's pretty cool. It's a nice room, and I'm grateful to get to do these from here. I'm just sad that it's without Tuna. Can't bring Tuna to the gym, so I will be home at some point again to get to include her. I imagine that what I'm learning already during this plan to read these every day for 365 days, that it is going to get varied, how I share these and where I share these and probably when I share these. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting ride, I'm sure. All right, today, December 28th, the heading is What You Call Religion. You are all looking for that God whose name is happiness, and your righteous approach to that happiness is what you call religion. If you approach that happiness without hurting yourself and hurting others, you are a religious person. But if you're trying to get happiness by hurting yourself or others, it's not religious. I remember at some point, some time ago, learning that there was a difference between a religious path and a spiritual path, and that not all religious paths or religious practices by some people are resonating with a spiritual perspective. I think there can be spirituality within religion, and I believe that some religions are born out of spirituality, and that they are, as Swami Satchidananda said, that, the approach is happiness without hurting yourself or others. That I do resonate with. I think we've seen in our news how religion can be used and abused in a way that segregates humanity, that creates a division between people, that I don't believe is in the name of love. I think it's in the name of selfishness or self-seeking. That I believe is born out of ignorance and fear. Yeah. And I'm grateful that in my upbringing that I was educated with a religion that felt very broad and spacious, even though it was, in some ways, the Old Testament, there's a lot of how do I put it? In some ways, God is represented as kind of having anger and a vengeful force about him. But I wasn't given a picture of what that God looked like. I wasn't given a box to contain him within. It felt like he was a more expansive force than I could fully comprehend. Definitely there was some judgment with like a good and bad energy around it, but I don't know that it felt contained. And and that it wasn't, I didn't have an image. It was more of a force. Maybe it's because I grew up in the years of Star Wars, and in some ways that was involved in my development of, may the force be with you. There was that sense. And I'll take a moment and just take some time to honor Carrie Fisher and her passing. It's been a wild year. Let's see, sorry, getting off off track here. The other thing I came up when I was reading this was this image. Again, I've been shown this before, of how we can see God or higher power, this higher force, being represented in all the major religions, all the religions, as light, as love. And if we picture this as an orb of light and love, that all the religions and practices and faiths and belief systems are surrounding this orb, and that each one is just looking at this orb from a different spot, different perspective. And each of these perspectives they're claiming as their own. Well, no, this is the way that I see it, because this is what I can see. Okay, well, this is where I see it. It's very clear to me, this perspective, and same thing for this one, and etc. But that we're all sharing a experience of looking at this same thing. Like in the practices within Integral Yoga, my favorite slogan is, truth is one, paths are many. Paths are many. Truth is one. And when we want to believe that, that this is right and, well, yours must be wrong because it's on some other point, that's when I feel like we're limiting ourselves. And because this thing is so vast and so all-encompassing, I think it can be hard for any one religion to really have a full understanding, for any one person to really have this full understanding, which is why I often feel the need to turn it over to something greater than myself, than I can fully comprehend. Yeah. And the interesting thing too is that when we're looking from these perspectives, to something else, it's also within. So that idea in here, with happiness, I always appreciate when I learn about God and higher power and all that, being something also that is within us. And that inner happiness, that inner peace, that it's not something we have to go seek out and have to try and claim, is out there and not in here. I think it is very much in here, and that we are all interrelated in this experience. We just often can't see that. So my practice is to do more work around that, so that I can have bigger eyes, bigger heart, to be able to recognize that we are all connected. Okay, that's my share for today, and I hope something in there was useful. Have a good day, and tune in tomorrow. Thanks.